Hey everybody, it's Ori from AstroWeb, and this video shows you how to plug in Google Analytics site search, or how to plug in your site search to Google Analytics site search. So what I wanted to do is show you an example with one site we have, which is a Magento e-commerce site, which has an internal search engine inside, so you can find products quicker. But basically, I'll show you how to apply it to pretty much any site that has an internal search box, okay? So we're going to search as a user right now. I'm going to search, let's say, for lipstick. Okay, so I use the search box, and now I have all of my products. There's this lipstick, this, all of these, and there's filters on the left. Okay, so what you want to do is before you set up, you want to understand the URL structure. In Analytics, you're going to have to set up the you're going to have to define how Google Analytics knows what a search is, what a search term is, and what a search page is, and then you define it, and then you can start viewing data. Okay, so in this case, if you can see, the URL is city color / catalog /. Now, at the end, there's a question mark, which basically is some kind of dynamic value, and it basically says Q equals, and then we have the keyword that we search for. So if I search for lipstick red, you'll just see it's the same exact search term, but after the word lipstick, instead of a space, the URL, it adds a plus. So now that I know that the Q is basically my query, and a lot of platforms use a Q equals something for your search term. So now I know that Q equals equals my keyword. I'm going to use that. So I'm going to remember that right here. Now the second thing is, especially for Magento and for some other platforms, is you may have a search term for also categories. So on the left, I mentioned before that you can filter a search term. So let's say I search for lipstick red, and then I want to filter by, let's say, this category called face. Okay. So now, if you notice, my URL changed, and now I have a question mark cat, which is my category, equals something, and the Q, which is my query or my search term, right here. So now I have kind of this information. So I'm going to take these two, I'm going to plug it into Analytics. Okay. So what I want to do here is you want to go to Analytics, and you want to click on Admin. Okay. After you click on Admin, you want to go to your specific view that you want to set it up, and you want to view the settings. Okay. Turn this off for a second just so you can see, because we already defined it. Once you go to the view, you click on View Settings, you scroll down, and you look for the section called Site Search right there. So obviously I want to turn it on, and I want to start defining it. So here it asks me for the query parameter. What is the keyword someone typed in that search box? So in our case, it's Q. Q equals something. So we don't have to have the equals, just use the Q. And then move on. Okay, so my query is Q equals something, so I add Q. Now if I do have a filter or a site category, I'm going to turn that on. In our case, it was cat, so cat for category. And again, if you remember here, cat question mark cat equals something, and Q equals something. Okay, that's basically it. So once you do, you click on save, and now you should have some information. So basically, I took a few days here in Analytics. We already set it up to gather a little data to show you. And if I go to the Behavior tab right here, I'm going to go to Site Search, and I'm going to click on Overview. Okay, so now I can see a quick overview of the data I've had in these few days, about 10 days or so, 1,200 searches. Here's the percentage of search exits. So basically, someone searching and not continuing, someone moving forward. So the unique searches, the search refinements, all that stuff. Really, really interesting data. Now, I can either go down and kind of view the full report, or I can go here and look at the usage. So usage basically lets me see the difference between someone who used site search and someone who did not. Okay, so I can kind of see the conversion rate. Obviously, someone who uses the site to search has found pretty good results, or they're more interested in a specific product, so they can go, and our conversion rate is better. So it's pretty interesting. Now if I click on this, it'll basically, let me see here, it'll basically show me, I can start selecting the keywords. I can type in search keyword. Okay, Okay, and now I can see either I can do that as a secondary dimension, or I can click here on search terms. And now I can see the terms that people search for, the amount of total searches, the search exits, search refinements. All of these are very, very important stuff. Did someone refine? Did someone filter? Did someone? How long did someone spend on the site after they searched? All these kind of things. Now, what I also want to do is, in our case, I want to actually look at the e-commerce data, right? So I want to look at a term and did it bring a sale? So I can kind of see the e-commerce conversion rate, the number of transactions. So you can see, for example, there were 3 transactions from people that searched for this term, sunset bronzer. Now, what I also like to do is actually take terms that are very popular that have no goal conversion or e-commerce conversion, and understand why. So maybe I can refine, I can optimize my search results. Maybe I don't have products, maybe it's something that a term that people are searching for that is out of stock, or you know what I mean. So you can kind of look at these search terms, look at the positive and negative sides, and try to optimize them. Very, very important. Okay, and that's basically it. So you can obviously add the site search category to see what people are filtering, add more information, add secondary dimensions, add segments, on and on. So that's basically it. Hope this makes sense, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.